Today's Namaste Yoga continues our Hanuman series and is about Hanuman the diplomat. Hello and welcome to episode 219 of Namaste Yoga. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are going to be doing a special class on Hanuman, and we're going to be exploring his role as the go-between and the diplomat. And today's class is really about listening to your own body. So one of the most important things that we explore as Namaste Yogis. And first, I want to thank Squeeze Yoga Clothing for my clothes. I've got my long sleeve bamboo top on right now because it's freezing still here in Canada. It's like the long winter that never ends. Still, it's like minus 20 here this morning with the wind chill. And so I've got my Hanuman tank on underneath, which I'll show you later in the show, and my moss green leggings. And then also thanks to Dusky Leaf, I have a brand new yoga mat today in a really nice bright blue because I wore through my other one. So this is more a traditional yoga mat material. I'll put the links in the show notes for this. I was using a rubber mat before, but I wore through it. I guess after enough episodes, you'll do that. So it was time for a new one. So we chose a nice, bright, vibrant color for on the camera, and I got a nice new strap to go with it because, it's really nice to accessorize in matching colors. And you'll need the strap today. And thanks to Dusky Leaf for that too. And you may need your blocks today too. And I've got these really nice heavy cork blocks, which are really great and stable. So we have a testimonial too from Shanna from Jamaica, and it's a speak pipe testimonial. So we'll go ahead and have a listen to that.
Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for this opportunity that you have given us to really work with yoga with you. I really enjoyed. I just want to say thanks. This is from Shanna in Jamaica. It's just a great opportunity to be able to just do yoga. You are my first yoga teacher, and I started last year around this time, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to meet you on YouTube. It's just been a wonderful moment. I hope sometime you'll be invited to the yoga conference in Jamaica, up north, and I'm looking forward to meeting you someday, and I'm looking forward to actually working with you in a live class, in an actual class. So thank you so much, and do have a wonderful day. Greetings, and everything is coming from Shanna in Jamaica. Thank you. Namaste. Bye.
Thank you so much, Shanna. We look forward to working live with you too. And once we get settled after our move this summer to the West Coast, we are looking forward to holding retreats ourselves. So we do have plans to work with you one-on-one in person and in groups. So stay tuned for that. And we're really excited about that too. So go ahead and rest back. We're going to get started. Make yourself comfortable. Lie on your back with your palms turned up beside you. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And if there's anything you can do to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, you can go ahead and do that now. So the story that I'm going to share with you today on Hanuman demonstrates Hanuman as the master diplomat, the go-between, the mediator, and the spokesperson. We will begin our story today with Ram trusting Hanuman to find his beloved wife Sita, who had been captured by Ravan. And at this time, they had no idea where Sita was. So we're going back a bit in time from where we kind of go all over the place with these stories, back and forth. So imagine they hadn't found Sita yet. Ram begins by placing all his trust in Hanuman. Ram begins by describing the details of Sita's feet right down to her toenails. He then gave Hanuman a ring so that Sita would know that Hanuman was a messenger and not a spy. He went on to describe how Sita walked and talked and shared with Hanuman anecdotes that only Sita and Ram would know, so that Sita would be sure that Hanuman was Ram's messenger. It is said that Hanuman listened respectfully to every word that Ram spoke, knowing that when he saw Sita, he would recognize her. He bowed to Ram and departed to search for her. So let's pause and look at how this story relates to our own lives. In past episodes, I have shared how I believe that Hanuman is symbolic of our ego self and Ram of our higher self. Even in this short excerpt of the story, you see that our ego bows to our higher self, as Hanuman bows to Ram. If we listen deeply to our higher self, we will know where to go and recognize what to do, as Hanuman listens to Ram. So our body is a powerful messenger that is always speaking to us. When we listen respectfully to our bodies, when we honor our bodies, we will know what to do. Your body is one of the most powerful messengers that continually offers you information. You can be like Hanuman and listen respectfully to every word your body speaks to you. As our story continues, Hanuman heads off with his monkey army and bears. They travel for a month and are exhausted and hungry. Hanuman, with his keen awareness, notices two birds coming out of a cave with water dripping from their wings. He told the monkeys that there must be water and food inside the cave. Inside the cave, they came to a grove of trees and a woman ascetic sitting under a tree that they thought must be Sita. Hanuman observed her closely and saw that she was not Sita, but asked her to tell them the story of the beautiful cave. So here again, we'll just pause to take note of Hanuman's skills as the master go-between. First, he uses his keen skills of observation and awareness to notice that this is not Sita. Secondly, he asks the woman to tell him more. We can use these skills too as we tune into our bodies. Awareness by tuning into our bodies and asking ourselves, what's happening now? Tuning into the miracle of our body and its incredible capacity for sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, healing, balance, digestion, detoxification, to name a few. Once we have tuned in, we can ask our bodies to tell us more about their beautiful stories. So the woman, who is named Swayamprabha, was protecting the cave which belonged to Hema, the Apsara, which is a celestial maiden. So these were basically women who were married to gods and kings. Hema's daughter had married Ravan. That was the evil man who Ram's always fighting against. Swayamprabha lavished them with food, drinks, and honey until they were satiated. She was very lonely, so she tried to get them to stay and marry her. All the monkeys and even Jambavan, who you might remember from a previous episode, were under her spell. Only Hanuman remembered why they were there and sternly refused, insisting that he would leave without his companions, with or without his companions. Swayambhava saw his determination and took pity on him. And even though it was a magic cave and no one who entered this cave came out alive, she did take pity on them and transported them out of the cave. So as we reflect on this part of the story, we see how important it is to not be controlled by our senses and to keep our intention or our sankalp at the front and forefront of our mind. Hanuman's companions were completely absorbed by their senses and forgot their intention. So too, when listening to our bodies, it is easy to become averted by fulfilling our senses through good food, sights, and sounds that might not be for our greatest and highest good. So when we remember to listen, to truly listen to the needs of our bodies, it can be helpful to withdraw our senses and feed our body at a deeper cellular, organ, and energetic level. Finally, in this part of the story, a huge vulture saw all the monkeys standing in a row outside of the cave. He congratulated himself on his next meal, all lined up in such neat and tidy rows. The bird, named Sampati, had no wings and began to hop towards the monkeys. The monkeys couldn't believe their misfortune. First, they had nearly starved to death. They'd been stuck in a cave that they might not ever get out of, and now they were going to be eaten alive. One of the monkeys, Ungod, started wailing. "The bird looks like Yum, the god of death himself. Oh, what's going to happen to us? It is said that all birds love Ram. Even Jatayu gave up his life for Ram. Why should this bird kill us and stop us from helping Ram?" So, as it turns out, Sampati was Jatayu's brother, and when he heard Jatayu's name, he wanted to know how his brother had saved Ram. It turned out that that was enough for Sampati to help, and he shared everything he knew about how he had observed all the details of Sita's kidnapping and was able to send them on their way. So, in this part of the story, again, it was because the monkeys listened to Sampati's story in a loving and kind way that they were able to forge a trusting relationship. And when we listen to our bodies with loving kindness, we too create a trusting relationship with our body. So we're going to start to open up the lines of communication with our body right now with a bit of a kind of mini yoga nidra, a little bit of a body scan. So continue to make your body as comfortable as possible. If you're cold, put a blanket over you. If you're low back sore, bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor, or roll up a blanket under your knees or a bolster. And tune into your body now and see if there's any adjustments you could make to create even a little bit more comfort in your body. And then form an intention for becoming the master go-between or diplomat or communicator with your body. So something like, I listen to my body with loving kindness, or I discover what my body is telling me. And tune into your physical body. Notice your head, your eyes. Become aware of your nose, your ears, your mouth, your chin, and your neck. Become aware of your breath at your nostrils for several breaths. Now notice your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, and your fingertips. Become aware of your chest and your back. And then let your attention settle at your heart. Become aware of your breath at your heart center. Notice your belly, your low back, and pause to be aware of your breath at your belly for several breaths. Notice your pelvis, your legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. And then return to your intention. Maybe it was, I listen to my body with loving kindness, or I discover what my body is telling me. And consider what kind of relationship you are trying to create with your body in your day-to-day life. And go ahead and form an intention of how this yoga class could help you create that in your life. And when you feel ready, you can start to wiggle and stretch out, but stay lying on your back. You're going to start by taking your arms and your legs into the air. So with your arms and legs in the air, begin to circle your wrists and your ankles. So one of the poses that we'll be doing later in honor of the vulture is eagle pose. And just notice when you start to circle your ankles and your wrists, what your body is telling you. So these tend to be kind of tight parts in our body. Wrists, because of working at computers and personal electronic devices like cell phones and iPads and things like that. And then, your ankles, they support you all day long from standing. So just notice what your body's telling you as you tune into these parts. Then you can lower your arms and legs down and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Draw your left leg in. Keep your left leg fully bent. And draw your left leg in until you feel something happening in your right hip. So breathing here. Again, just noticing what's happening in your body here. Listening to your own body. When your body tells you that that edge has gone away, that it's not, you're not feeling it quite so much, you can always adjust and find a new edge. And then release your left leg down. Uncross your right leg. And just take a moment here to take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And then cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Draw your right leg in, reach through that keyhole. And really listen to your own body, stopping when you feel sensation in your left glutes, keeping your shoulders heavy on the ground. So listening primarily to your hips here, but also noticing if other parts of your body are talking too. So perhaps listening to your neck and your shoulders, noticing if there's tension happening there, maybe noticing if there's tension in your face and seeing if you can let go of that. Paying attention to if you're dropping away from the edge that's happening in your hip. So when you practice your yoga, you're like the master diplomat with your physical body, the go-between. Always checking in to see what's happening and how things need to be adjusted. When it's time to go into the cave and when it's time to get out of the cave. So go ahead and release this posture from your body. And then we're going to do setu bandhasana, so bridge pose. You're going to place your feet flat on the floor, press into your feet and lift your pelvis up on the ground, really feeling your feet on the ground. And then fold your right leg in and reach your right leg straight up and go ahead and circle your right ankle again. And then circle it the other way. And then fold your right leg and lower your right leg down. Readjust your bridge pose, lift it up again, and fold your left leg in, reach your left leg up and circle. Breathing. And circle the other way. Okay. I don't know if I switch directions. And then fold your leg in and lower it down. Re-lift your bridge and lower it down and hug your knees into your chest. If you have any knee issues, hold on behind your knees. And then you can roll to your right side and make your way up to seated. And you're going to sit with your legs straight out in front of you. And you may even want to sit on a folded blanket so that it's easier to sit. We're going to do the foot series just to release your ankles a little bit more. So, or you could sit with your back against a wall as well. You're just going to circle your feet. And circle the other way. And then point and flex. Your whole foot. And then hold your feet, flex, and just point and flex your toes. And then slide your right leg in, and we're going to do rock the baby here first before we do your foot stuff. So you're going to just take your right foot and place it in the crook of your left elbow, and your right knee and place it in your right elbow, and you're going to rock it from side to side to loosen up your hip joints a little bit more. And then cross your right leg all the way over and inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Now here you're going for mobility in your hip joint, and you want to, this is a really great example of paying close attention and being a really great mediator with your body, because you want to be really cautious of your knee joints here. So it's for your hip joint. If your hip joint's not flexible enough, it's going to go to your next weakest joint, which is your knee joint. You don't want to mess with these ligaments on the insides and outsides of your knees. So you're just going to be really cautious here. Feeling anything on the insides of your knees, you're going to stop. So you really need to listen to your body here. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, open. So intention here is hip joints, not knee joints, listening to your body. And then you're going to place your fingers between your toes. This always is harder to do in the winter because we wear socks and shoes so much in the winter. And just point and flex your toes. And then just also go from side to side. And then you can actually just circle your foot again. And the other way. And then just give your foot a little massage. And release that foot down. And we'll go ahead and repeat that whole sequence on the other side. So bend your left leg in, and you're going to go ahead and put your left foot in the crook of your right elbow, your left knee in the crook of your left elbow, and rock the baby. And then cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. And this is the one where you really need to listen to your body again. So you're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, open, paying attention to your knee joints. So paying attention to any sharp pains, sharp sensation. feeling mobility in your hip joint. Breathing as you move. And then you place your fingers between your toes. And you're going to bend your toes forward and back. And side to side. And then circle your ankle again. And the other way. And then go ahead and release your feet, and they should feel nice and flexible and nice and alive. And then we're going to do cat pose, Marjaryasana. And you're going to come onto all fours. And we're actually going to do cat pose with your right leg crossed over your left leg. Open your feet out to the side and just exhale, round up through your back. Inhale and arch through your back. Breathe out, round. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, round. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, round. Breathe in, arch. And then switch so that your left leg is in front. So your legs are crossed. And again, breathe out, round. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, round. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, round. Breathe in, arch. One more. Breathe out, round. And breathe in, arch. And then from here, come on to all fours. We're going to do Adho, Śvānāsana, downward facing dog. Turn your toes under. Stretch out the necks of your toes. Inhale. Exhale, reach your hips up towards the ceiling for Adho, Śvānāsana. Okay, from Adho, Śvānāsana, you're going to make your way up to standing, so look forward to your hands. And walk your feet into your hands. Then slowly make your way up to standing. Okay, so from standing we're going to do Garuḍāsana, and it's eagle's pose, which is there was more to this story. I had to leave so much of the story out, which is so long. But this eagle actually has no wings. So the vulture, yes. So this, when you do eagle's pose, it kind of has no wings too, right? Because you have your arms like this. So I thought that kind of worked. And I think I'll leave out the part of the story that I left out. Maybe I'll tell it another time because it's a neat story. Okay, so let's stand on your right foot. You're going to cross your left leg over and then sink into your right foot. You can keep your left foot on the ground and find a point to focus on the ground. Bring your right arm up, hook your left arm underneath. So this is kind of like the vulture in the story with no arms, with no wings. An alternate for your arms, if you can't hook your arms, is just to bring your elbows together and your palms together. Okay, and then release this pose from your body. And we'll go ahead and do this on the other side. So this time you're going to stand on your left foot, sink down through your left foot. So you're bending your left knee. Cross your right leg over. An option to keep your right foot on the ground. Or you can go ahead and do the hook. This should be easier maybe because we dealt with hip openers and ankle work. And then you bring your left arm up, hook your right arm underneath it. And again, the option to bring your elbows together and your palms together. Or just backs of the hands together as well. So lots of options here. Focus on something that's not moving. Okay, and then release this pose from your body. We're going to do a nice counter pose to that. Take your feet wide on your mat. Roll your pelvis over your leg bones and fold forward. Drop the crown of your head. And then slowly come up to standing and make your way back down onto your mat to lying on your stomach. Okay, so you're going to come right down onto your stomachs and take your arms straight out in front of you. Press your front of your pelvis into the ground. Reach your sit bones towards your ankles so that you're lengthening long through your lumbar spine, your low back. And then walk your elbows straight underneath you, underneath your shoulders, so that you've got a back bend happening in your thoracic spine and your upper back. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Keep the back of your neck long. Your ears back over your shoulders. So notice what it feels like in your body. You're going to be that mediator in your body now. Notice what it feels like to bend backwards. Most likely because we spend so much time rounding forward over our computers, over our work, over our food, over our phones. This might feel a little uncomfortable in your body. This is like a counterpose to life. So just notice how this feels in your body. And then cross your right elbow over your left elbow. Look over your left shoulder. And then come back center, press into your forearms again, and walk your elbow over your left elbow over your right elbow. Look over your right shoulder. And then come back to the center. You're going to come up onto all fours, draw your knees up underneath you. And then this is where you're going to need your block. So this is partly a counter pose and partly a pose to get you ready for what's coming next. So you're going to place your elbows on the block and come back into child's pose so that you're opening up your armpits and your triceps, and you're stretching out your low back. So the child's pose is for your low back, and then this big stretch for your triceps and your armpits is to prepare you for cow's face pose, Gomukhāsana. And then find a way out of this pose. Whew, that's intense, huh? Okay, what are your shoulders telling you about that one? Okay, and then come to a seated position, and you're going to cross your left leg over your right leg for Gomukhāsana. And you're going to internally rotate your right arm and bring it up your back, and then bring your left arm up and over, and maybe your fingertips meet and maybe not. And if not, that's what you've got your strap here for. So you can take your strap and hold on. Okay. And then you can release this side. And we're going to do a little twist here as well. Oh, also, I meant to mention, if this is hard to feel the space here, you can always sit on a block in cow's face too. And twist to the other side. And then release. And then go ahead and shake out your legs. And switch so that your right leg is on top now. Your left leg is on the bottom. And just tune into your body, really listen to your body. Notice how the sides are different. And then you're going to internally rotate your left arm and bring your left arm up your back. Reach your right arm up and over, and if your fingertips don't meet, then here's where your strap comes in handy. So you can walk your hands together on the strap. Okay, and then go ahead and release this and rotate. And rotate to the other side. Okay, and take your legs straight out in front of you. Slide your right leg in, cross your right leg over your left leg. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Hinge forward through your hips for half cow's face forward fold. Inhale back up. Release your right leg down. I think I might sneeze. Bend your left leg in, cross your left leg over your right leg. Lift up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. And then inhale up. And exhale, rest back for Savasana. So we're going to finish the same way we began, with that body check-in, that little mini yoga nidra. So go ahead and make your body as comfortable as possible. And as you tune into your body now, see if there is any adjustment that you can make to create even a little bit more comfort in your body. And recall the intention that you set at the beginning of the class. Maybe it was something like, I listen to my body with loving kindness, or I discover what my body is telling me. And begin by tuning into your body at the crown of your head. Noticing your head, your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your cheeks, your chin, your mouth, and your nose. And then become aware of your breath at your nostrils for several breaths. Continue to tune into your body at your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, your fingertips, your chest, your upper back, your breastbone, and then your heart center. And then allow your awareness to settle on your breath at your heart center for several breaths. Notice your belly and your low back, and then bring your awareness to your breath, to your breathing at your belly. Become aware of your pelvis, your legs, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. And then become aware of your whole body again. And repeat your intention. Maybe it was something like, I listen to my body with loving kindness, or I discover what my body is telling me. And as you reflect back on this class that was about really listening to your body, about being that mediator or diplomat, that go-between, just like Hanuman, reflect on the importance of listening to your body and create some intention of how you'll take this class with you off your mat and into your life this week. And then you can allow your breath to deepen. You can rest back for as long as you wish, and when you feel ready, you can start to wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees, roll to your right side, and slowly make your way up to seated. So I'd love to hear your comments on what you discovered from listening to your own body today. Leave it in the comments below. And thank you for joining me for episode 219 of Namaste Yoga. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.